Awesome. All right. So, um, having today watching some news. Um, I saw Pro Jared. Um, his first thoughts of the Switch. Um, he wasn't pretty happy about it.
Really? I haven't seen his video on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, come on. In the other news, it's somewhat people are been saying that the sales are going to still affect Nintendo and or Sony with this release of Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild, which is in the same week, uh, targeting the same audience because they're both RPGs, open world, even though they're both different, but they're targeting the same audience, and people are just going to choose either one, or they're just going to choose both. But at the same time, they will not uh, be complete in one game and switch to the other very fast. And yeah,
Yeah.
some of the hype will go off if you just leave the other game just resting there for a lot of weeks. And yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of the same situation we had with Battleborn and Overwatch, where they're two very good games,
yeah,
but Battleborn had the unfortunate timing of like
mm-hmm,
being released a little bit earlier than Overwatch, and so everyone's kind of forgotten about it now, and it's a game that used to cost $60 and now it only costs $15.
mm-hmm.
Um, and apparently some places sell it even cheaper. But I feel like Breath of the Wild might do better, just because for one, it's already sold a lot of like pre-orders, like it's
Yeah,
like sold out in a lot of places, and Zelda and Nintendo are like very trusted and known franchises, you know. Um, so like all the Zelda fans will they'll buy any Zelda game really immediately. So I think it'll do good. Um, Horizon Zero Dawn, I feel like it's different enough graphically
yeah,
that and artistically that it'll also still generate a good amount of sales. But I feel like there is a specific demographic that'll probably go for it rather than Breath of the Wild. Because I still
and
think,
that is
yeah, I think it's usually the gamers that think they're a little bit more hardcore, or they still think of Nintendo as kind of, the child brand.
childish. Yeah, yeah.
Because Breath of the Wild looks amazing, but
Oh yeah,
but
so
if
live in paint.
yeah, but like if you like compare graphically and artistically, like Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn looks a little bit more realistic, and so it kind of feels more like for a mature audience, if that makes sense. Um,
Exactly.
but personally, I want to get both. I love Zelda, and looking at Horizon Zero Dawn, it looks beautiful. It's gotten great reviews so far, and I just love RPGs and open worlds and overall, so definitely see myself playing this. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of things that people are unhappy about the Switch. Something about certain multiplayer games being locked at 30 frames per second. Uh,
Yeah, frame drop. Yeah.
yeah. What else was there? Uh, I think some of the online features, like there wasn't gonna be any media features off the bat, so you're not
Not
gonna,
at launch. Yeah.
yeah, so you're not gonna have like Netflix and Crunchyroll and
YouTube or
yeah,
any other or video app. out there like Hulu and all those.
Yeah. One cool thing about the Switch that I really liked is that it is about the size of a PS Vita. It's a little bit bigger than a PS Vita. So it's going to be very, very portable.
Well,
Um,
that is a an advantage that Nintendo has right now because of the portable playing AAA. We've been saying it in previous podcasts that Nintendo with this new device, um, they're doing something different from Sony and Microsoft. But still, Sony has the Vita. I mean, the Vita has not died in Japan still, but
yeah.
America always just ends that deadline of portable consoles, just like PSP or PS Vita on Sony's side.
Yeah.
Um, so, what I heard about Pro Jared talking about the Switch, um, it was that what you said about the frame rate drop and all that, but it was also the controller problem. Um, Today we turn on our consoles with the controllers,
Hmm.
and you cannot do that with the Switch. There was another problem that he found, that the left joystick was glitchy,
Mm.
and that concerns me.
That could have been just his, but
Yeah, yeah, I can feel that it's just his, and probably other consoles will be perfect.
yeah. But hopefully, because I feel like, how was it glitchy in the motion controls or in like the analog stick?
Analog stick.
Yeah, that might be his. He just got a bad one, unfortunately.
And the
Um,
feature, yeah, the feature that Nintendo never said. I mean, the pad is actually touchscreen.
yeah, they never talked
They
about it.
never said that.
It was kind of like everyone figured it was going to be, but they never explicitly said
Yeah,
it.
they're like, oh, they already know.
Yeah. So, well, I thought like maybe it wasn't going to be touchscreen. Like, what I would have really been surprised about was if it had 3D on it. That would have really blown me away. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
they why didn't you talk about this? You've literally you've replaced a 3DS now, you know.
Well,
But
I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of things that they never talked about in the conference that we get just going to find it out between all these months. People finding out the feature that the console has that they never said. But yeah,
mm,
that's the curious thing about a console. I mean, there's a lot of features in the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 that Sony never told us. Uh, well, I think they told us a lot, but yeah, between updates and all that, within the Switch in the future, uh, it will have more to it, more than just screen capture. In the future, they said there are going to be recordings. Yeah, you'll be able to record gameplays.
oh, okay.
I hope this is we all know Nintendo Japan being the copyright Nazis over YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they they'll work out a way. Hopefully, I don't know what specifically makes them go after every single video that it's like free advertisement for their games.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst cases we had were like with Smash Brothers, and earlier games like Super Mario Sunshine and stuff like that. Like Nintendo, like really was like no 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 no. Like anything was their cutscenes and whatnot. They they didn't want it. Even with their music, they don't really want their music on there at all. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
they're really
And
strict
that's
with it.
just Japan. That's just Japan because Nintendo America, they don't have no problem with that. Hey, that's what I really do not get. So, hopefully, at launch, if people live stream, Let's just pretend they just like they unbox, they live stream Breath of the Wild that same day. Hopefully, we don't get channels shut down or live streams shut down because of this, policy that they have. Because it's gonna be ridiculously stupid, and they're still going to lose a lot of fan base. I mean, Nintendo fan base, it's really hardcore. If I mean, it's that high up. Even though PlayStation, I mean, Sony and Microsoft are more as a fan, and we um we respect and we defend uh these consoles to our death. Uh, Different from the Nintendo. I mean, there's a lot of Nintendo fanboys out there that really want to uh live stream or record a gameplay and upload it to their channel with no uh copyright claims. But still today, even the GameCube has, even Nintendo 64.
Yeah, they still have copyright on them, and it's really weird. I mean, I feel like they started going in the right direction with their partnership program, but they take like half your revenue was all that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, are
So
they're cool with Mario Maker, right?
oh no,
Uh,
um, they if you turn off the music in Mario Maker, uh, which I don't know how to do, they're usually cool with it. So, but like
wow.
you get copyright claims for every song in the game that's played. So I'll get like at the end of a stream I'll get like 15 emails for like Super Mario Bros. 3 overworld menu, Super Mario Bros. 3 underground song, Super Mario Bros. Original, new Super Mario Bros. I get for every single song, and it's only like sometimes 30 seconds, 1 minute. It's crazy. But
It's damn crazy.
the one that really sucked for our channel was Twilight Princess, where we'd get a cutscene that happens, and they're unskippable, or well, you could skip them actually, but it's important in a let's play to show
Of course,
cutscenes.
of course.
Um, and these a lot of these cutscenes are used in their ads and whatnot, and so they get copyrighted immediately. Um,
Damn.
and then
Cannot even monetize them at all. Like,
yeah, and then sometimes I get copyright claims for just walking down a bridge or something, and it's because like, yep, so they walked down a bridge in an ad, and so it matched up. So
oh my gosh, at that level.
yeah, it's pretty bad, but yeah, I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, like this is why a lot of channels don't want to cover Nintendo stuff,
Yeah,
Like
because
there's
of your bullshit.
yeah, like some channels will have like one Nintendo game, and that's about it,
I have one Waker, and I still have copyright claims, and there's like one gameplay, one that has not been copyrighted. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird, but that particular one is not. I don't get it really. It's something that there's a lot of Japanese out there. A lot of Japanese games out there, such as Sony and Microsoft have Japanese games, but you know it's Nintendo Japan here. It's their problem. It's their jealousy for not letting other people appreciate their product until they buy the game, not recording it online. It's really stupid.
Yeah. So, on the subject of streaming and copyrighting games, um, did you hear about Twitch's new announcement, their new feature that's coming out?
No, I haven't.
So on Twitch, you will be able to now buy any video game that you see being streamed. So, what is the good thing about this? Well, you get the digital version of the game, duh. But the person streaming it gets 5% of whatever purchases are made. So, let's say I'm playing Breath of the Wild and you decide to buy it through Twitch. Well, I guess that's not such a great example. It's because it's a Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
exclusive. But let's say a PC game. Let's say Overwatch. I'm playing Overwatch, and you decide to buy Overwatch on PC. I get 5% of your purchase when you make it, and so it's a new way for streamers to make monies. And then you get a loot crate, which includes Twitch emotes, chat badges, and other random goodies. So
Wow.
Twitch is now like partnering with other game developers and publishing studios, and you'll have stuff like Hi-Res Studios, Telltale Games, Ubisoft, the big titles.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they'll be pushing their games through Twitch, and they kind of already started a little bit with like Twitch Prime, with the little goodies that you get. Um,
That's
so I
really
can't wait.
cool.
So I feel like we'll see stuff like from Blizzard and others as well.
Yeah, man. I
But
mean, this could, I mean, against YouTube Gaming, Beam.Pro, of course. Wow. I thought that Twitch was gonna die, but they just, well,
yeah,
they just took out that sacred sword.
the life of every platform are the streamers, and
Yeah,
this new feature will definitely entice people to want to stream on Twitch.
on Twitch. Yeah.
Um, because everyone already loves Twitch, but it's getting more strict with what you can stream, what you can say, what you can't say. It's becoming, ever since Amazon took control of it, it's becoming more and more PC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and so uh, people look to all other alternatives. So now you have YouTube Gaming, which they don't really care as much as what you say or do. Um, and then you've got Beam, and I don't know any other streaming services right now, but Beams definitely seems on the rise. But
Yeah.
this is a good move from
For,
Twitch.
yeah. I mean, all three gaming live websites are just YouTube Gaming, Beam, and Twitch. Because Dailymotion, it's like another live stream website for painting.
Yeah,
It's
and
not exactly for gaming. So,
yeah, VidMe
uh,
is also just
no, but it
like
means it. Yeah.
upload, and so they did say they want to do
Yeah.
streaming in the future, but that's not
We'll see.
seen
I
anything
mean, the
till now.
competition is tough right now.
Yeah, but yeah, that is one of the bigger news I've seen regarding this.
Nice.
I would definitely feel encouraged more to start streaming on Twitch right now. I mean, YouTube gaming is Karibukai Play's platform right now.
Yeah.
And we'll always still be doing stuff like Mario Maker there. Um, but if we can get like a good following and whatnot, and I think if anyone can get a good following, Twitch just seems like a much bigger platform for streamers in general.
Yeah. I totally guarantee you that. I mean, for there's different communities. I mean, there's the Twitch fan base, YouTube fan base, and Beam fan base. You could see them there. Um, they could be the same type of people, but if you look closely, uh, that Twitch has less trolls than YouTube.
Well, that's debatable.
Totally debatable. It all depends on what you're playing.
Uh, Twitch has very good moderators going around.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
that they're because like I said, Amazon is taking control of it, and they do a pretty good job at like going through different streams and making sure everything is working and whatnot. YouTube is more like they kind of just let what happens, and after the video's been uploaded, then they'll start dealing with crap. So unless you're like
I know
streaming,
that.
unless you're streaming porn or something, they won't stop you.
Oh Jesus! I know that Beam. Fan base of Beam. They're just very quiet. There's a lot of PC gamers in there. You could tell that the Beam community is. I it's. I don't think. I've been in live streams on Beam. And there could be trolls, but it's not the same kind of troll that I see on YouTube. There's trolls, but
Yeah,
not as so disrespectful. Yeah, that's the word.
yeah,
As there's in YouTube. I mean, the spamming on Beam, it's really controllable. Um, so it's something that YouTube needs to see, like automatically, you know.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, going back to the Twitch thing. Um, wow, dude, Twitch is. I can guarantee you that if people get tired of live streaming Nintendo stuff on YouTube, they're still going on Twitch, which there's no copyright there.
yeah,
I mean, they could stream whatever music they want.
yeah. Well, the thing is, you can't like archive the stuff on Twitch anyway. So it's kind
Of
of like
course, yeah,
you do it and that's it.
yeah.
So that's like the big issue on YouTube is like if you archive
They stay there
anything,
forever.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so they'll copyright it all. Um, but I want to see more stuff like this from Twitch. Right now, it's only gonna be like a few games that you're gonna be able to do this with. And obviously, you have to be partnered with Twitch first of all for this to happen. So
Yeah.
you got to have that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, other news. Apparently, I don't know uh, if you're aware of this, but some countries will be getting taxed on their video games through Steam.
Tax through
Yeah,
Steam.
yeah. So, normally when you buy anything online, there's no tax on it.
Of course.
Usually, if certain things they still have tax.
Damn
Um,
it.
but luckily, USA is not on this list. It's only 10 countries. Um, and they all have different percents, but some of these are like a lot. So
Shit.
on Switzerland, they're gonna get an 8% tax. Uh, South Korea 10%, Japan 8%, New Zealand 15%, Iceland
Damn.
24%.
What? It's over like $2 already.
It's yeah. If we're that's like a quarter of the game. It's like I pay
Yeah.
$60. I'm gonna pay an extra $15 in tax. That's a lot. That raises
Yeah,
the
that's like
price of
it's like buying it in physical game on a store.
South Africa
Physical game.
14%, India 15%. That's all in March. In April we're gonna have 20% in Serbia. In May, Taiwan's gonna get a 5%, and that's the lowest I've seen. And July is Australia was 10%. So
Man, the government wants to get money from everywhere.
yeah,
Jesus, it's no, like, okay, I can see, I hope America does not get involved in this, because I
uh,
mean, we stay away from taxes because of the store, GameStop or whatever, they still need it because of who's behind it. Uh, but I mean, on Steam, I mean, people can still buy games from another store besides Steam. I mean, you could go to
Yeah.
the actual website of the game, like Ubisoft,
Yeah, but I
and buy
feel
from
like
there.
this is a thing that the government is pushing, so even these places might be affected a little bit.
Yeah.
So what's happening here is apparently uh, they're saying that uh, these taxes they might be adjusted, or the price of the game may be adjusted so that you'll still be paying the same thing even with the tax. Um,
Okay. So they're
so
going to reduce the amount of how you pay regularly from the game, substitute with the tax.
yeah, so like
Okay.
you'll still be paying this at same price, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll be towards taxes. But this won't happen with every game. It all depends on the company if they want to take the blow of, oh, we're losing $15-20 or something like that. Um, because of taxes. Most companies will be just like, yeah, let the people pay it.
Yeah.
Um,
So even though if Steam low down the price or special week of a company game, like for example, um, Grand Theft Auto 5, it's like 30% off. They're still going to charge you the tax then?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
thought so. And then the most logical thing, is I know they're lowering down the price, but you still have to pay the tax.
Yeah. It at the end of when you're checking out, basically the tax will be added on to the total price or whatnot. So I imagine like you choose your country and then it'll adjust all the prices of the games and then it'll add the tax on after that.
Damn it.
So yeah. So
um,
that kind of sucks. I mean, like we're gonna be okay, but I am very
for
sympathetic
now.
towards the rest of the world, and it's something to
Yes.
fear that might happen here because if those governments can do it, why can't ours?
Yeah. Damn
Imagine
it.
in Puerto Rico, they're taxing everything. They decided to tax PayPal, you know, um,
Yeah.
and they left. Imagine them deciding, hey, we want to get on this, and they're like, yeah, any games bought in Puerto Rico get a 10% tax. So
Getting money from everywhere, man. Like, wow. Now that's some good, interesting news. I have not heard about that. Um, what other news out there that in the gaming community or something that is affecting us as gamers? Um,
um, well, there's not a whole lot of stuff that is really affecting us. There's been different kinds of gaming, like video game news, like specifically on games. So like, Pokemon Go got its second gen of Pokemon recently. Um,
okay.
so you'll find a whole bunch of second gen Pokemon around, and there's some pre there's some paid baby Pokemons that you can find, and I think the only way you can get them is through hatching them from eggs. So
Yeah.
that's new. Something interesting that Dan and I found out while we were in New York is that you can buy the Pokemon Go watch from ThinkGeek for like $35. Um,
Wow.
and
Nice.
I don't know if you remember what the Pokemon Go watch is, but it connects
Yeah,
to
I do.
your phone by Bluetooth, and
Yeah.
you can catch Pokemon with it. It vibrates whenever. I think it's called Pokemon Go Pro, wasn't it? Something like
There's
that.
something like that. Yeah.
Um,
Um.
I
the
don't
the
know what
Square
else.
Enix and the Marvel thing from last month. What do you think of this thing?
Uh,
Uh,
please refresh my memory because I can't
okay.
remember.
Marvel and Square Enix. I mean, Square Enix is doing a Marvel type of superhero game. Based on Marvel,
Okay.
of course. Yeah. They released a teaser trailer last month, and it it looked pretty CGI, but we all know it's gonna be a legit game from Square Enix. I mean, Square Enix is making tons of games. I totally appreciate that from them, not being like Capcom or other Japanese companies out there. Uh, at least what I see here is that we all know that Spider-Man is not going to be in these kinds of games because Sony still has the rights of Spider-Man. We all know that Spider-Man is having a new game for the PlayStation 4. Hopefully is a open world, of course. It's a Spider-Man game. So, as for Square Enix, this game is what I saw was Thor, some of Captain America. It was more like Avengers type of game.
You
But it
didn't
was a
see any of
teaser. I couldn't.
the. You didn't see any of the X Men.
No. It was all mostly Avengers. It was pretty weird, but it's still, even though the Avengers is a mixed up of a lot of superheroes, it's the reason we've seen only like the main Marvel studio superheroes because they do not have the rights for the other superheroes. But if Square Enix could at least get Wolverine in this type
Yeah,
of game, they still have the money.
it's basically
Square Enix has it.
the same issue. Sorry for interrupting. It's basically the same issue
Hmm.
as the Marvel versus Capcom thing. Like, you can't
Right,
just imagine a Marvel game without Wolverine in it. You know,
of course.
um, and in fact, without any of the X Men that usually appear in the games.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, like, at least in Marvel versus Capcom, I want to see Wolverine for sure. Uh,
Oh yeah.
Marvel versus Square Enix, since it's technically a new thing, I think I'd be okay with them not being there. But it'd be interesting. I wonder, or we're probably gonna get the Hitman guy in there, and what other characters Square Enix have?
Well, it's not a versus game. It's
It's
like
not.
Square Enix legit. It's like Square Enix legit doing a AAA Marvel game.
Oh, they're doing a.
Yes.
Oh, it's a Marvel game that's linked to the Avengers.
Yeah, it's linked to that Marvel universe. So, yeah, they totally. I don't know how they did it because there's a lot of money involved in Marvel. Even the name
Yeah,
for Square Enix to have their hands on this thing.
there.
Uh,
It's a lot of money for you know.
Yes, it's a lot of superheroes. There's a lot of characters here that has their own rights and their own companies, just like Marvel Studios. But even though we've seen Marvel video games lately, we've seen Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. They're really good games, but they're targeted to a certain audience. And as for Square Enix, Square Enix does tons of games for a lot of expanded audience based on RPGs or what open world RPGs or MMOs towards that way. So thinking of that particular thing, they could do a Marvel open world, uh, just like the Avengers type of game. Not making your own superhero, but using the characters from the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
just like DC Online. but
It
without making your shitty character.
Yeah, it'd be cool if it was something like the Just Cause series. Um,
Oh yeah.
I think that like it would feel
Oh
great
yeah.
like that. Um, I wanted to say Final Fantasy 15, but I don't think it needs maybe the fighting mechanic from Final Fantasy 15,
Yeah.
but I would like to see like open world exploration like Just Cause.
Yeah.
That would definitely feel good. The first game I thought that would immediately like fit really well was like a Marvel theme. Uh, it's like
Yeah.
it has to feel like something like Transformers Devastation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's up top of beat 'em up.
yeah, um, it's been a while since we've seen an actual really good superhero game. You know.
Yeah, man. I don't think there has been a ever since Ultimate Alliance from Marvel, exactly from legit Marvel, or from the previous Spider-Man games from Sony. I think the last one was Scattered Dimensions, or was it something like that? It was like, yeah, the last Spider-Man game was on the PlayStation 3. I think it was like 4 years ago or three, maybe. I think it was
Yeah,
4 or 5 already because
that
we're
sounds about right.
2017.
There hasn't been
Yeah,
any on the
so
PS4, I think.
no, nothing.
Well, I think
It's
maybe the Amazing Spider-Man came out on PS4.
yeah, the one that's coming right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's about it, I think.
Yeah, and my only concern is since a lot of superheroes are still with the rights of their own superhero, just like Spider-Man, we might not see a lot of superheroes in this game because of that. Unless Square Enix has the money enough to make a deal or something, or make a character similar to what it is, but they cannot do that because it still be a Spider-Man or something of Wolverine or Cyclops from other type of Marvel characters.
Yeah, Square
They might have
Enix.
to do something.
Yeah, Square Enix has been in a kind of a bit of a slump lately with some of the games. Like even their really good games haven't been selling all that well. Um, so like this game, I think would really be a good boost for them if they really pulled it off because they've got the Marvel name behind them now.
Yeah,
So I hope they
they
work well with
cannot screw
Marvel.
up.
Yeah, I hope they work well with Marvel, and Marvel provides them some pretty good, um, budget. I mean, especially like if you think about it, Marvel's owned by Disney. They have to have a buttloads
Totally,
of
yeah.
money to like put behind this. So
And
hopefully
because
it'll
Square
be really
Enix is
good.
involved, like with Disney, it's because of Kingdom Hearts, so they have a connection
Yeah, they have a
from
history,
Disney. Yeah.
so it'll work. Where I mean, we're still waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, and who knows if there's like a conflict
A
of
delay.
interest. Yeah, who knows if there's a conflict of interest going on in there. But you know, it'll be refreshing if we actually get a good new superhero game. I mean, superhero games, if you think about it, back in the PlayStation 2 era, like those were the best games to play. Before like you just only got FPSs and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing to just feel like you're superheroes, but then they just
Totally.
became the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Uh,
It kind of got boring.
yeah,
It got old. It got old.
it did get old. So
Yeah.
um, it'd be interesting to see new new ideas for video games. Um, I don't know, like Ultimate Alliance was kind of like a Diablo style, wasn't it? I can't
Yeah. Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And
was
so
like type of that type of MOBA style of camera that you just look the characters from above.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
that was really refreshing because you
yeah.
don't usually play a game like that. Um, so um, and I haven't seen a first person superhero game, but like I feel like they'd ruin it if they did try to make a first person superhero game.
Oh man, that
Um,
would suck. That would suck.
yeah. So um, a third person over the shoulder game would probably be good, but they need to nail down the plot. They can't make honestly, they can't just make a stupid story out of nowhere because that's what a lot of developers do.
Yeah,
They're
all
just like,
cliche.
yeah, we've got the name, just make a stupid ass short story and everyone will buy it. Just no one gives a fuck
Ju-
about the story. You
just make all the fighting scene look cool.
yeah, it's gonna be another Superman 64, you know? Um so no, like Square Enix and please Square Enix, I'm trusting you as this, but your stories are weird as fuck, but they're entertaining, you know? If they put
Yes,
as much
yes.
devotion into this game as they do with Final Fantasy, it will be a good ass long story, you know, and it'll actually keep you entertained. Um, so yeah,
And by following a little bit from the comics, a little bit different from the films that they don't actually follow them exactly, but in the video games you have more time to develop and to follow more the comic.
yeah, add like some side quests and whatnot that unlock
Of course,
uh,
yes. Yeah.
more background story and whatnot. It'd be cool. Um, I just don't want to see the game turn into Sonic 06. Yeah.
Oh man, don't.
Yes. Yeah, like story doesn't make
Yeah,
sense, and then glitchy games. Like for some reason,
that
I'm like
frame rate.
for some reason I keep thinking of different game formats that would work with a superhero game. And I'm like, make it like they did with what's this Sleeping Dogs, you know.
Yeah,
Sleeping Dogs was pretty cool. It had that GTA feel. Give it that kind of feeling, you know.
yeah, that open world because today all most of the games are open world. They're big and they're big in story. They're big in subplots. Even the world is the protagonist. The world is type of the story, and Square Enix, you gotta make that right. I mean, you've done it with Just Cause, um, Final Fantasy, Sleeping Dogs. What else they have done? Near Automata is gonna be a little bit more open world more than the first game, so they're going on the right route here. So at least don't mess this up
Yeah.
because even though you have the Marvel name right there, that doesn't mean you're gonna do a good game
Yeah. So
because
what I
that's what
w-
happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
what I will be honest right now is that I can almost tell that the voice acting is probably going to be bad. Uh, because
Wow.
because the characters they're probably going to be modeled after the movie characters.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's gonna suck.
So one, they're going to look weird because they're going to be modeled after the movie characters, you know. So
Then it's already categorized as a movie license game.
yeah, I
It's
mean
gonna suck.
Marvel's behind them. Like if they want them like to generate the money, like they're gonna have to go after the people who watched the movies, and so
Yeah.
Loki's gonna look like movie Loki. Thor's gonna look like movie Thor.
Ugh.
Hulk is just Hulk, you know. Iron Man is Iron
Yeah.
Man. It's um, Captain America. He wears a mask, so that's fine as well. But the
Yeah.
two ones that will look weird And so if they show Loki, he's probably gonna look really weird because they're gonna try to make a realistic face look animated, and it's gonna be weird as fuck. And then Thor, which they can make it work, but again, they're gonna try to make him look like what's his name, Chris Evans or whatever it is.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now.
I don't think it's whoever I just said. Uh, but yeah. So if they do make it look like these guys, um, he what's he say? If they do make them look like these guys, they are gonna get the same actors to voice act them.
Yeah, because people are going to hate it. He looks like the real Thor, but he does not have the same voice. That's gonna suck.
By the way, Chris Evans is Captain America. I've fucked up. Sorry to everyone.
All those Marvel fan.
I get the names wrong. It's Chris Hemsworth, I think.
Yes.
Or Chris Hemsworth.
That's the one. If Marvel is smart enough to tell Square Enix, to their artists, to Square Enix artists to make their own Loki or their own Thor, their own Iron Man design or style of Iron Man.
I say just take the design from the comic book, not to be exactly true to it, but make
it your style. Make it Square Enix style.
Make it actually fit,
Yeah,
because
the problem licensed.
The problem with a lot of these, superhero games is that they try to make the faces look realistic, and they just look like pixelated garbage, like all jaggedy. You can see the polygons everywhere. It's like, what the fuck did you do? It's like,
it does happen.
How can you make a perfect fictional face and then take a real face and make it look like the fakest ass ever?
Yes. Totally agree. So Square Enix, please stay away from that. Please, you have Square Enix Japan, America, and Europe, so make something good. Don't be like Capcom.
Capcom's okay at times, They just, like to take old titles and, they haven't, I don't feel like they've made anything uniquely new. They just keep reviving old titles.
Yeah. So, any other news besides these that we have mentioned before we close this podcast?
Well, there's one last one that we can talk about, and I think this could be the end. This is another Breath of the Wild thing.
Right.
Breath of the Wild has an expansion pass available for purchase already.
At launch, right?
Yeah. So, and that means it's going to have DLC. And some people are upset about this, because this will be the first Zelda game where you're going to have DLC. You're going to be paying $60 and you're not going to get the full game. Yeah. So, what do you feel about this?
Okay, there's a lot of games that have made this kind of crap, and AAA titles that have made this kind of thing. Like at launch, we're gonna make this as a DLC at launch, and then we're gonna get you the full game.
Yeah.
But I don't bash on Nintendo. Because this is like their first time after how many years? After Skyward.
No, well, they made multiple Zelda games in between that. Like they made for the 3DS, A Link Between Worlds. That was a new, unique one. Story.
Yeah. But for a console itself, like legit,
other than Hyrule Warriors,
But Skyward Sword, I mean,
Skyward Sword was
yeah,
the
Skyward
last
Sword, yeah,
canon story
canon
game.
exactly. That was a wow. That was back in the Wii.
Yeah,
So we're
the
talking like
the Wii U didn't even get its own canon like
no,
story game. It got
so
Twilight
yeah,
Princess HD and Wind Waker HD.
and the Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, but that's not canon.
That's not even canon. So what I feel about this is that no, I don't feel weird. I don't feel that for me it's good. I mean they're going on a for me they're going on a good step. Even though people just go like, oh, why you doing this? When you're doing that, well, just let them do it. I mean, like it's like never Sony have never done it. Either Microsoft, they have done it tons of times, and you don't say anything. I mean,
Well, people do bitch about it, but it's like,
it's still a bitch about it, of course,
yeah,
but I
but
mean,
they're bitching
it's
more
coming.
about Nintendo doing it.
It's and Nintendo doing it. It's like, guys, come on, like this is not new. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought you got used to it after like the seventh generation of
So
consoles.
I will say, I was a little bit upset knowing, oh man, like, like when when I beat the game, that's not gonna be it. But at the same time, I was happy. It was like,
Hmm.
oh, when I beat the game, there's more. Um, the second thing is it's only $20 actually, so that's the
Mm.
cheapest expansion pass we'll get. That we've ever seen. Like usually you see an expansion pass and it's like $60. It's like nope, this is $20. It's like oh, that's really cheap actually. So um, I just want to see. I just hope it's not just a stupid little dungeon. I want actually like extra story. When I buy
Oh yeah.
DLC, I don't want just like oh get one more room that adds no story or anything. You just get a cool little item at the end, and it's $9.99 or something like that. I want like full on like new quests, new dialogue. Like you learn
Hmm. Hmm.
something new about the world, something like that. It doesn't have to be huge, but it's like oh that actually enhanced my gaming experience. Um,
That's
so
indeed
yeah,
correct. Hmm.
but yeah, I agree with your point. Like every company does
Hmm.
it. Microsoft is the worst at it. They force
Yeah.
developers to put it
Yeah, they
in.
totally forced it.
Um,
Totally bad. Totally bad.
but every other company does it, and it's not like you aren't getting a full game. You are because like it's not like Battlefront where like oh you just got multiplayer and then you got a whole bunch of other pieces taken out that were later sold to you.
Exactly.
You got a full game. You're gonna be able to enjoy the whole thing, and then at the end, if you want more, you got that expansion pass. Um, so
Exactly.
I think I'm okay with it, but it does suck that it
Yeah,
always
yeah.
sucks anytime you have to pay for
Yeah, it
anything.
always sucks. Yeah, yeah. It's like you're paying $60 for a game and then you pay another $20. It's like, come on. I mean, even Horizon Zero Dawn, they did the same thing. So I'm like, I'm just going to buy the normal version. Then if I buy the DLC, I'll buy the DLC later on. But yeah, that's really no problem for me. I mean, I just buy it later, even though I'm not giving the full thing in my hands. Which it's a strategy. It's a strategy for them making more money. But yeah, it's it's what it is. I can't
Yeah,
tell you anything else. It's what it is. Every company does to this kind of thing. I mean, back in the days, we just used to like, okay, we got the full game, we beat the game over and over. There's nothing else to it, and now we have a bigger game, uh, a lot of expansion DLCs because of even though we have that full game in there. with an open world, but we're also getting something extra, something that we never had back in the day. So we have to appreciate, things like that. Because back in the day, uh, Kingdom Hearts never had that expansion because there was no internet or download capacity for that, unless if you have Final Fantasy 11 or something,
Yeah. Does my
something
voice sound
that
normal?
was compatible. Yeah.
Okay, just make sure.
So
All
yeah,
right.
those are my thoughts.
Totally agree with you, man.
Yeah. I think that will be it, right? Is there something else?
No, we've covered quite a bit of different news that happened this week
Totally,
or the past
totally.
month.
Past month, after all the bashing that we did back in the previous podcast about the cancel games, and
Yeah.
we don't want more, no more cancel games, no more, no more, please. So yeah, all right. So I think this will be it. Thank you guys for joining us. Please don't forget to rate, favorite, comment, and subscribe to.
Karibu Kai Play. I do a Let's Play channel with Officer Dan. My name is Shinja, by the way, if I have mentioned that. We do Mario Maker every Friday night, and we also do other random crap throughout the week whenever I get the chance to upload anything. So, yeah, be sure to check us out. And also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Zyber Station. And we shall see you next time.
See you guys later.